Welcome to Level 1, Desirability. Do you really want to reach your goal? If you don't have a clear answer yes, then you might not be motivated to go after it. In order to have a clear yes, you first need to know what is it exactly that you want. And that brings us to two potential barriers. First, many women don't know what is it that they actually want. And second, some that do know what they want, they might have an inner conflict with some other goal that is competing. So let's have a look, what does it mean? 80% of women can identify with this statement. I have an idea what I want, but I haven't thought of it in detail. Do you belong to this 80%? If so, what is preventing you to really think about it in detail? You just didn't take the time to do it? Or maybe you're scared you will miss it even more if you start thinking about it. Second statement. Finding clarity in exactly what I want is very difficult for me. If you agree with this, there might be a hint for a weak identity and that you rely on opinions on other people and don't really know what you want for yourself and how to express it. Third point. About 70% of women identify with this. I know exactly what I don't want, but I seem to attract this kind of man all the time. If this is your situation, then you're focusing on fear rather than your goal. The way our brain works is that it can only focus on the content and not on the don't. For example, don't imagine a blue elephant. Well, too late. Your brain has already imagined a blue elephant and it just totally ignored the don't part. It works the same way when you say, I don't want this kind of a man. Now let's move on to the second group of obstacles with the inner conflict. 40% of women agree with this. I want to have a good relationship, but I also want something else that competes with the relationship. If this is your situation, then some of the following points might give you even deeper understanding why is that. 30% of women agree that I really want to have a good relationship, but right now my children, parents, or work responsibilities come first. If you feel like others always come before you and you would be somehow guilty or a bad person if you are selfish and you think about your own interests, this can be related to deeper subconscious blockages on the deserving of love and being a worthy person. 30% of women agree with this statement. If I was in a relationship, I would lose my freedom and autonomy to make my own decisions. If you feel like this, it can have something to do with a weak identity in a situation where if you were to be in a relationship, it can look like this other person will totally be in control of you and you will have nothing left for your own self-expression. Or there could be also a different kind of explanation. Maybe you have a fear of abandonment, which is often masked under the excuse of not wanting to lose freedom. Fear of abandonment is usually related to some old childhood experience or some earlier traumatic experience, and you might be subconsciously choosing men that are not ready for commitment or they're somehow not suitable because in a way you protect yourself that you wouldn't lose anything so valuable if this man leaves or if you yourself decide that you no longer want to be in a relationship with this man. So it's a subconscious self-protective mechanism, but unfortunately doesn't lead to successful relationships. Now let's move on to your action points. Open your workbook And put a check mark next to any point that is relevant for you. Don't worry at the moment that you don't know exactly how to fix this. For now, it's important just to build your action points. And then at the end of the course, you can check out the potential resources. First action point. I want to have more clarity in my life. In order to do that, I have to strengthen my inner identity and my self-expression. This will help me figure out what do I really want and to be more authentic. This is about you, put a check mark. Now, second point. I want to be able to make good decisions when choosing my future partner. In order to do this, I need to decide exactly what do I want in a relationship. And then third point, I want to have a good relationship, but I also want something else that competes with it. I need to explore what is behind this internal conflict and how can I satisfy both of my needs.